Despite only appearing in 2 games, Scarlet has quickly become a fan favorite in the Mortal Kombat community. In a game where gore reigns supreme, a character who fights using blood just makes perfect sense. However, here's the funny thing, Scarlet plays completely different in each game. And I'm not joking, this character does a complete 180. Everything is changed from her origin to her playstyle and even her appearance. Literally the only thing the developers didn't change about Scarlet is her color red. But outside of that, the developers changed everything about Scarlet. So today, let's discuss the craziest change in NetherRealm history. Make sure to show your love for Scarlet with a like down below, and then subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Without any further ado, let's begin after a quick word from today's sponsor. Have you heard of Boosteroid.com? I bet some of you have and some of you haven't. Boosteroid is one of the largest cloud gaming providers in the world available right now, with its crazy cross-device gaming capabilities in the USA, allowing you to experience high-quality 1080p and 60 frames per second in titles such as Fortnite, GTA 5, Call of Duty, and over 400 other games. And keep in mind, you can run these games on anything, your outdated PC, your Android, your iPhone, even a 10-year-old Mac. Boosteroid is providing a dedicated app for Android TV to transform your TV into a gaming console without needing to buy any expensive gaming devices. Literally all you need for Boosteroid.com is a simple subscription and a decent internet connection. After that, you can play your favorite games anytime, anywhere. No more hardware updates, no more file downloads, no more session time limits, no queues to join the servers, none of that stuff. Just instant access to your favorite games. Once again, I highly recommend Boosteroid.com, so check out their link in my description and start your subscription today. Whether you're a hardcore gamer or a more casual player, Boosteroid.com is perfect for everyone. Now, I'm sure many of you watching already know how Scarlet plays in Mortal Kombat 11, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time here before moving on to Mortal Kombat 9, but simply know that Scarlet is a projectile zoner in Mortal Kombat 11. This chick has so many things to throw at you. She has a high projectile, which is pretty fast. She has a slower projectile, but you can't duck under this one, and jumping over it is also really hard too. And in fact, you can even modify this projectile to be slower or faster depending on which direction you hold. And then she even has a low projectile, which if timed correctly can duck under the opponent's projectiles for some good counter zoning. And then she also has this move, which is actually not a projectile, it counts as a physical hit, which means you can't absorb it or reflect it like other projectiles. And as you can see, she's able to aim this thing. She has a close version, a far version, and even a full screen version. So yeah, this move is an absolute menace. And then she has custom moves like Boiling Point. This thing does a ton of damage, and just like the tentacle, you can aim this thing. There's a far version, a close version, and the default version. Like I said earlier, Scarlet has a lot of things to throw at you, but even her regular attacks have a lot of range. Here's her sweep. Amazing range on this thing, and then here's the overhead. Arguably even a better range, but it's a bit slower on startup. And I almost forgot this move, which hits low and can lead to a full combo, especially in the corner. Just make sure you're a bit closer. If landed at max range, the second hit misses for some reason. Now, despite being designed as a keep-away character, NetherRealm did give Scarlet some fun and damaging combos, which is more than you can say for other keep-away characters like Cetrion, or in fact even Robocop. However, unfortunately, she only has 2 different ways to start these long combos, otherwise her combos are pretty short and sweet. And funny enough, tournament players don't really treat Scarlet as a zoner. Instead, they fight around the mid-range and try to do short staggers and restands, all that annoying stuff to keep their opponent guessing and constantly on the defensive. However, despite how she's played at the high level, it's clear that developers meant for her to be a keep-away character. And I do believe that's a good summary of Scarlet in Mortal Kombat 11, so now it's time to move on to MK9 so you can see how drastically different she was in her very first appearance. So for starters, Scarlet looks completely different in MK9, and that's because she absorbs blood through her skin and becomes more powerful. Or in other words, she gets stronger as she kills you. Quite literally, she is the manifestation of Mortal Kombat. If Mortal Kombat had a mascot, it would be her, because the more blood she spills, the stronger she gets. And since we're talking about lore, in this game, Scarlet was actually created by Shao Kahn by amassing a bunch of different blood from his fallen enemies. However, in Mortal Kombat 11, that was retconned completely, and Scarlet is instead an orphan on the street that Shao Kahn found and adopted for some reason, teaching her blood magic. Alright, but now it's time for gameplay. And in this game, Scarlet is Rushdown personified. She even has a command run for Pete's sake. She can close the gap so much quicker than other characters. And that's a big deal because sometimes this command run is essential for continuing combos. And you can even add armor to this move at the cost of 1 bar, which means Scarlet can blow past projectiles or even physical attacks and then get her combos started. But the thing is, she doesn't even need that to avoid zoning. She has a teleport just like Scorpion. It doesn't lead to a full combo, but it can do a bit more damage if you spin the bar on it. And then for a fun fact, it also beats anti-airs. You jump forward, teleport, and the opponent uppercuts nothing. Or you can also use her air kunai. That's great for baiting anti-airs as well. Yeah, Scarlet has air projectiles in this game, despite being a rushdown character. She has a straight projectile, which can be good for counter zoning or just great for extending combos in general. And that's especially true in the corner. This air kunai becomes godlike for damage. And like you saw earlier, she also has the air kunai, which is good for baiting anti-airs and just approaching from the air in general. Once again, Scarlet always gets in. She has a slide too, just like Sub-Zero and even Scorpion in this game. All the ninjas have a slide and Scarlet is no exception, but this one comes out of her command run, which is great because it means maximum range. But you're not gonna believe this next part. Scarlet can even command run into her X-ray. That's right, she can cancel the run instantly into her super attack, and once again, that becomes essential for certain combos. But even outside of combos, it's just one more awesome way to get in and close the gap on the opponent, because keep in mind, X-rays are armored. But this next projectile is really weird. It's known as the blood ball, and the game may say unblockable, but it does not mean for the opponent. As you can see, Scarlet herself actually takes damage when throwing this thing, so she's the one that takes unblockable damage. And I'm honestly not sure why Scarlet takes damage for this move. I think it's because it does a lot of flat damage, but so what? In a game like Mortal Kombat 9, this is not very much damage. And now finally, it's time to talk about the regular kunai. This move is absolutely insane, and if you love Mortal Kombat 9 and watch videos on it, you already know why, but allow me to reiterate one final time. At a surface glance, this projectile just does decent damage, and it hits twice, but get this, you can hold it down and then dash cancel after the first kunai is thrown. And this allows Scarlet to do some amazing combos, especially from mid-screen. Scarlet might be one of the highest damaging characters in the game from mid-screen and corner without having to spend any bar. But now comes the crazy part that every die-hard Mortal Kombat fan knows about, the infinite block string. Scarlet can force you to block this string right here and then do the meter burn kunai, dash out of it, and then repeat that step, and this will easily drain half your life bar. And she can actually do this up to 4 times, because by the time the combo's over, she's already built 1 more bar by forcing you to block. And when she's done with all this block damage, your character will have lost half their life bar. Yes, you heard me correctly. This entire sequence on block will delete half your life bar, and there's no way to escape it because there's no gap in between the hits. Literally, the only way to escape this damage is to get hit on purpose and then combo break as soon as possible. But to do that, you need 2 bars of meter. Or in other words, if your meter is anywhere below that, then you're just out of luck. Scarlet is going to force you to lose half your life bar by simply blocking. As you can see, despite only appearing in 2 games, Scarlet is completely different in each one. She was originally one of the most aggressive characters in the entire series, and her combo damage was insane. There was no way to keep her out, and once she got in, she could kill you even by forcing you to block. However, in Mortal Kombat 11, she was designed the opposite way. She's now a keep away monster with tons of projectiles to keep you far away all the time. And then next up, we have her appearance. In Mortal Kombat 9, she is showing as much skin as possible because that's how she gets stronger. She cuts you up and makes you bleed all over her, and therefore gets more powerful as she absorbs your blood. And by the way, her weapons are completely different too. In Mortal Kombat 11, her weapons are made from her own blood magic, but in this game, she actually has traditional Japanese ninja weapons. She has the ninja swords, and she even has the ninja kunai. In fact, I think she has more accurate ninja weapons than even Scorpion and other ninjas on the roster. And then last but certainly not least, we have her origin. Originally, Scarlet was a man-made monster, much like Ermac. She is the combination of a bunch of dead warriors. And she's also really powerful too, by the way. Shao Kahn only lets her out when it's time to kill his most dangerous enemies or take out entire armies. However, in Mortal Kombat 11, for whatever reason, this was changed, and now she's simply a street orphan that Shao Kahn adopted and then taught blood magic to. And creepy enough, she's actually in love with Shao Kahn and wants to marry him. And then even creepier still, she has a gear piece named Shao Kahn's Sacred Seed, and I think we all know what that's referring to. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 sure is different. Scarlet changed in pretty much every single way. So I hope you enjoyed my breakdown. If so, please leave a like down below, and while you're down there, please comment which Scarlet you prefer. And then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell, that way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.